So there was a story out right before the election about how three white supremacists were going to do a bombing in Wichita, a terrorist bombing. In fact, the FBI charged them with wanting to explode a weapon of mass destruction. Now, some of you might have seen this story if you were watching the Young Turks or reading outlets that care to have real coverage. Most of you probably haven't seen this because the three terrorists involved were white. So we don't, generally panic about that on cable news, and so you might, and certainly the president doesn't talk about it. No politicians generally talk about it, so it just gets buried, right? Well, there's an update to that story today, and it is an interesting one. So if you don't remember the story, they were going to bring in trucks filled with explosives and put them around an apartment building with Somali immigrants, and that was because they're Muslim. And they were going to show them, that they can't push us around. So they were going to do terrorism against the Muslims. But those particular Muslims hadn't done anything. But this is how the small-minded people in America and across the world think. Oh, me no do nuance. Muslim bad. Should I find out who the actual terrorist is? No. Muslim bad. Must do something about Muslim. So these guys thought, well, I got a great idea. Muslims must be bad, and why are they bad? Because of terrorism. Okay, so their ironic idea was, let's do terrorism against them. Let's blow them up. In the middle of Kansas, not in Somalia, in the middle of Kansas. So they were caught, thank God, and the FBI did wonderful work there. And there's an update to that story today. So let me go to the Associated Press for that. Gavin, Wright, Patrick Stein, and Curtis Allen are charged with conspiracy to use a weapon of mass destruction and conspiracy against civil rights for allegedly planning to detonate truck bombs in the meatpacking town of Garden City the day after November 2016 election. Wright also faces a charge of lying to the FBI. Now, these geniuses thought that Hillary Clinton was going to win and that Donald Trump was going to be robbed. Oh, that's another conspiracy theory on the right that didn't turn out to be true. Where are the FEMA camps? Where are the FEMA camps? There are no FEMA camps either. There was all these lunatic right-wing conspiracy theories, and it unfortunately led people to doing some terrible things. So they thought, okay, we'll show Hillary Clinton when she wins, we'll blow up these Muslims, murder them all, and then as one of the conspirators said, we'll get their attention with, quote, a bloodbath, okay? Well, they're asking for something unique today as their trial is about to get started. 3 men accused of plotting to bomb a mosque and an apartment complex housing Somali refugees asked a federal judge Friday to include prospective jurors from rural western Kansas because they are twice as likely to have voted for President Donald Trump. Now, wait a minute, I thought Donald Trump was against terrorism. But it is the belief of these three terrorists that Donald Trump voters don't mind terrorism if it's white terrorism against Muslims. Now, to be fair to the Donald Trump voters in Kansas, we don't know that that's true. That's what these three terrorists are hoping for. So, but it is an interesting story that we actually do have terrorists in America and that Donald Trump has not tweeted about them, has not gone on a rampage about them, has not made national headlines about them. It's not that big a deal to them. And now those guys think, well, Trump voters are more likely to excuse terrorism. That's their belief, that's what they're arguing for. Please give me jurors that voted for Donald Trump because I think they're more likely to be okay with terrorism. As long as it is white people, right-wing people doing the terrorism against innocent Muslims. They think, and I don't know, they might have some basis for this belief, that hey, Trump voters are gonna think, not so bad, not guilty. That's what they're hoping for. They also argue the case will require jurors to weigh whether the alleged conduct constitutes a crime or whether it is constitutionally protected speech and assembly and the right to bear arms. Who knows, maybe if they get those Trump voters, they'll think, well, I mean, yeah, I got a right to bear trucks full of explosives. Now, that's what we're stretching the Second Amendment to now? Trucks full of explosives. Do Muslims have that right here in America? Do black people have that right here in America? I'd hope not. But now the right wing saying, I get to walk around with explosives ready to blow up innocent civilians, and that's my right to bear arms. Look, I don't think these are going to work, okay? But you never know. I mean, we've had a lot of insane acquittals in this country, just as long as the people on that jury felt like they identified with the defendant. And constitutionally protected speech. Yeah, your speech ends at the end of a bomb, okay? I know the right wing likes to say, free speech, I'm allowed to hate everybody. I'm allowed to hate blacks, Muslims, Latinos, gays, I'm allowed to hate them. I know you are, and I defend that right of yours oftentimes. You don't have a right to bomb them or murder them. That is a different thing, and oftentimes, unfortunately, they don't understand that. These guys are gonna go on trial soon. I hope that the judge will reject their demands for hateful people that they think might excuse terrorism. They should just get a jury of their peers wherever they are and be done with that. They don't get to, in my opinion, pick a jury of their peers if they think there's enough right-wing lunatics in Kansas who are gonna say that it's okay to murder innocent Muslims in the middle of Kansas. They should not be allowed to do that, and I hope that they face the justice that they richly deserve, and whatever the consequence of that in Kansas might be. If you like the Young Turks, you'll love Young Turks membership. tytnetwork.com/join.